In tonight's case, we examine the case of a professional accountant providing free professional services to his fellow employees. So the background to the case is, it revolves around a professional accountant who is employed as a financial analyst at the town of Pinecrest. During lunch hours and after work, he provided informal financial advice to a fellow municipal employee with respect to her marriage separation, including a review of her ex-husband's personal tax returns, which included self-employment income. No issue arose. He is currently doing the same for another municipal employee. A verbal complaint has been made to the town planner that he has a conflict of interest on the basis that he is a public servant being paid by the town whilst helping fellow employees who is facing a common law separation. The town does not have the internal conflict of interest policy for staff. He knows of no basis for a conflict of interest except for a lawyer of a group of developers who is also the lawyer for the ex-common law spouse. So, what advice would I give the professional accountant? As a first step, I think it's important to define a conflict of interest. The AICPA Code of Professional Conduct defines a conflict as follows. A conflict of interest creates adverse interest and self-interest threats to the members' compliance with the integrity and objectivity rule. For the purposes of this presentation, I find Black's Law's Dictionary definition more helpful. Black's Law's Dictionary provide the following definition of a conflict of interest. A real or seemingly incompatibility between one's private interests and one's public or fiduciary duties. It should be noted that the accountant is not providing any attest services and as such does not have to adhere to the independence rules of the AICPA, which outlines the conflict of interests of CPAs. Now, to address the accountant's concern around potential conflicts. Firstly, he is paid by the town for his services. He should devote his time to town business. Even though there is not a conflict of interest policy, the accountant's ability to practice his profession independently from his employer at the municipality should be governed by the employment contract with the municipality. Although he provides his services free of charge and in his lunch hours, it may be perceived that his independence is further hampered due to the fact that he's running a side business. Furthermore, he is also in the habit of doing it more than once, which also results in a negative independence perception. I think secondly, not getting paid may interfere with an accountant's independent professional judgment, which creates a conflict of interest on the accountant's behalf. He is also operating without the protection of professional indemnity insurance, which may also impair his professional judgment. In conclusion, as a professional accountant, he should determine whether the professional services he provides or the relationship with his fellow employees and his employer would result in a conflict of interest. He should use his professional judgment, taking into account whether a reasonable and informed third party who is aware of the relevant information would conclude that a conflict of interest exists. Thank you.